afternoon, everyone. Dr. Charles Sefcik here with the Life Enhancement Clinic, and I just want to have a brief presentation today to hopefully help a number of you with this common question I've been receiving the past couple of weeks. And I've had this question come up oftentimes through my practice. I simply did a Google search and saw that on message boards and bulletin boards across the internet, this question has popped up repeatedly, and it's a situation where someone actually starts to change their lifestyle from one of a path of disease and a poor diet or the standard American diet. They start eating healthy, they start exercising, they start drinking more water, and they start feeling worse. And they get frustrated. They're wondering, why are they making these healthy choices and now they're feeling worse? And it's kind of ironic to me that in some situations I've had patients who literally can't do a medical food or can't eat a salad or can't drink water, but they can drink a six-pack of Mountain Dew and eat a Big Mac and large fries and not have a problem. And so I want to address this topic with you today and hopefully give you some insight into why this is happening to you and to encourage you. As you become educated, you can become encouraged to stay on this track of health and not throw in the towel when things get a little bit difficult, because what we're looking for and what we're trying to accomplish is a true lifestyle change, not a temporary short-term fix. We're looking at a lifestyle change. And so we're going to dive right in. We want to help patients transition. As you can see on your viewing left, this Big Mac or huge hamburger and the little EKG monitor strip of this individual, and then you see the girl in the middle trying to decide between a sugar-laden candy sucker or an apple that's going to be health promoting. And then finally on the right-hand side, that fork with that tomato and lettuce, a representation of health. And you can transition from a lifestyle of poor eating habits into a lifestyle of good eating habits, and you can change your taste buds. You can start to like healthy foods, but it will take time and it won't happen overnight, and it's going to cause some diligence and some discipline on your part to make this happen. Now, one of the biggest I guess starting points that we always use with pretty much every case that walks into my office is the modified elimination diet. And if you are a current patient, you know that you've probably done this program where we give you a sheet of paper and we tell you, here's the foods you can have and here's the foods you can't have. And really, this stems from a natural medicine principle of get rid. There's a get rid principle. There are things that you need to get more of, and there are things that you need to rid out of your body. And so the modified diet in its most simplistic form is really following the get rid principle. We're going to talk about the foods you should get, the foods you should include, and we're going to talk about the foods you should get rid of, the foods to avoid. I'm going to go through pretty quickly, but I want to break each of these categories down and explain to you why these are part of the modified elimination diet. Now, this diet has been shown to identify any hidden food sensitivities. It's been shown to heal a gut that is impaired or leaky. It is shown to calm an overactive immune response down. So just providing yourself this diet for a minimum of 2, 4, 6, 8 weeks is beneficial and can really uncover a lot of things that you might have been suffering with for years and years and have been overlooked with a conventional medicine approach. Now, you're going to see on there at the onset this vegetables. And on the left column is the foods to include, and the right column is the foods to avoid. And you're going to see that this modified elimination diet for this next 30 days or whatever we prescribed it for you as, we want you eating all fresh, raw, steamed, sautéed, juiced, or roasted vegetables. And there are tons of vegetables out there. And if you look at the unfortunate fact of the matter, Jamie Oliver in his documentary series that was televised a number of years ago on Food Revolution went into classrooms, I think it was the second grade classrooms or first grade classrooms, and asked these kids to identify common fruits and vegetables, and they couldn't even do that. You know, when we look at what the average American intake of fruits and vegetables are, or the highest level of fruit and vegetable intake, comes in the form of potatoes and tomatoes. And that's because of ketchup and French fries. That's wrong. That's just not right. And so we want you incorporating a rainbow of colors into your diet. We want you eating these fresh vegetables. And you're going to see that corn is one of the things to avoid. Now, why would we say avoid corn? Over 80% of the corn in the United States is genetically modified. It's Roundup Ready corn. This corn is a registered pesticide with the United States government. This corn is not fit for human consumption. This corn is not fit for animal consumption. It is a toxin and it causes problems, and you do not want to be ingesting something that's going to damage your gut and ruin your health. And so for this period of time, we will take corn out of the diet, and then down the road we will introduce organic corn sources that are not genetically modified. You're going to see the starch, breads, and cereals category. And this modified elimination diet is a gluten-free program. So you're going to avoid, on the right-hand column, all sources of wheat, corn, barley, spelt, kamut, rye. And if you see these ingredients and anything on a label, anything on a box that has this in it, you need to avoid this, because it doesn't take a lot to cause an immune reaction. It doesn't take a lot to cause inflammation. You can have a very small, we're talking molecules, we're just talking little small components that can cause a bad reaction in your body. But when you look at the left-hand column, all the things that are allowed: rice, oats, millet, quinoa, amaranth, teff, tapioca, buckwheat, all of these things are allowed, and these can be used as replacements. And these are things that you can begin to incorporate into your diet or the modified diet and maintain these in your diet in a healthy diet. Legumes, this is really an overlooked source of good protein and good nutrient-dense fiber and minerals. And on the right-hand side, we want people to avoid soybeans and tofu and tempeh and these. Again, why? The majority of the soy in the United States is genetically modified. Genetically modified soy is a health burden. It will cause damage to your digestive tract. It will increase your risk of illness and disease, and you want to avoid that. But we want you to incorporate other beans: black beans, lima beans, navy beans, pinto beans, garbanzo beans. Beans are wonderful. Nuts and seeds, we're going to actually recommend that you avoid for a 30-day period, or whatever we prescribe for you, peanuts and peanut butter. And the reason for that is a lot of times peanuts are grown in the ground and they hold on to these mold spores and these aflatoxins, and we don't want that to be a problem for you, and we want to make sure that you don't have a sensitivity there. But also, peanuts are one of the top 7 most common food sensitivities, especially among children. So we cut those things out to make sure that that's not a problem for you. But again, what are your alternatives? That left-hand column: almonds, cashews, walnuts, sesame, sunflower, pumpkin seeds, and butters made from these nuts and seeds. So you're not being severely restricted. You're actually opening up a larger door to other things that you can be incorporating into your diet. Meat and fish, you're going to see during this time, we want you to avoid beef, pork, cold cuts, frankfurters, sausage, canned meats, eggs, shellfish. These are the things that are going to be inflammatory to you, high in nitrates to you. When you look at beef, conventionally raised beef that has been fed a diet of corn and grain that makes this animal inflamed, it makes this animal have cancer, it makes this animal disease, it's fattened up and taken to slaughter, and then the current conventional way to slaughter cattle is quite honestly just grotesque, and it's the animal itself is not healthy, and you are what you eat. And so we want to eliminate these things that are going to be inflammatory and toxic to you. Now, a caveat with the beef: grass-fed beef that has been grass-fed and grass-finished. A lot of people will grass-feed their beef and they say, hey, we got grass-fed beef, and then 2 weeks before slaughter they feed it grain and corn to fatten it up to get a better price in the sales barn. That ruins the fatty acid content that makes that animal inflamed and toxic, and then you ingest it. But a grass-fed, grass-finished animal is much healthier, and that's something that we promote in our office to eat. And same with eggs, organic eggs or farm fresh eggs. These are things that are healthy, but eggs for many people are again a common allergen, and so we want to avoid those for this period of time, just to give your body a chance to kind of calm things down, heal the digestive process, calm the immune system, calm the inflammatory process, and see what happens once the dust settles. But again, what can you eat with meat and fish? All canned or water-packed frozen and fresh fish. Make sure it's wild caught. Chicken, turkey, wild game, and lamb. So there's a lot of options on here. So don't get people see this and like, oh, what am I supposed to eat? Here's a lot of things you can eat here. During this time, there's no dairy. That means milk, cheese, cottage cheese, cream, yogurt, butter, ice cream, frozen yogurt, non-dairy creamers. Dairy has a protein called casein, and many people, when they ingest a casein protein, will actually cause damage to their gut, and they can also form what's called caseomorphins and cause damage to their brain. You might be having depression or anxiety or mental decline because you're sensitive to dairy. How do you know? You stop dairy for a few weeks and you see how your body responds when you add it back in. But what can you have during this time? You can have rice milk, almond milk, oat milk, coconut milk, and other nut milks. So again, there's a lot of different options here for you during this modified elimination period. Fats. We want you to avoid, and you really should throw out all margarines and spreads. And if you can't believe it's not butter, guess what? I can't believe it's even listed as a food. Don't eat it. Stay away from it. These things are toxic to you. They're toxic chemicals. They're not meant for human consumption. And I don't care what the label claim says, they cause disease. And so you want to avoid these things. But what kind of fats are healthy? Coconut oil, olive oil, flaxseed oil, sesame seed oil. Not the hydrogenated oils and the vegetable oils and the canola oils that people are using as their staple. Beverages, we want you to eliminate soft drinks, soda water, alcoholic beverages, coffees, teas, and other beverages. But what should we use? Clean, pure, filtered water, herbal teas, green tea, mineral waters. Those things are going to be safe to use during this modified elimination period. Spices and condiments. You want to avoid chocolate, ketchup, mustard, relish, chutney, soy sauce, barbecue sauce, and other condiments. Why? A lot of these condiments are laden with high fructose corn syrup. They have artificial ingredients. They have wheat contain protein in them, so you're going to have your gluten in them. But you can use a ton of other spices: cinnamon, cumin, dill, garlic, ginger, carob, oregano, parsley, rosemary, tarragon, thyme, turmeric, vinegar, tons of other healthy spices that are health promoting, and you just need to begin to use those in your diet, incorporate those into your cooking, learn how to like these health promoting spices and condiments. You want to avoid artificial sweeteners. You want to avoid sugar. You want to avoid things that are going to cause a spike in your blood sugar. And those are all the things on the right-hand side of this column. But you can incorporate stevia or agave nectar. These kind of things are allowed during this 30-day elimination period. So why might you start eating healthy? Why might you start cutting out pop and drinking more water and exercising more, and you begin to feel worse? And that's what we're going to talk about the remainder of this brief presentation. You can have impaired energy and digestion that can make you feel worse. You can have insufficient enzymes and or hydrochloric acid that can make you feel worse. And we have to understand that when you eat food or you take supplements, the nutrients that you take have a priority. Then priority number 1 is to eliminate toxins. Priority number 2 is to absorb the nutrients, and priority number 3 is cellular repair. So if you're very toxic, everything you're ingesting is going to go to toxin elimination, and we'll discuss this in a moment. So impaired digestion, here's the situation. So many people are dealing with a digestive process that is running on empty, and we rely on this, artificial sweeteners and flavors and processed foods and vending machine snacks and stimulants, the 5-hour energy drinks to try to drive our systems, but it leaves us feeling tired. And you can pretty much guarantee that if fatigue is one of your main complaints, you're going to have a concomitant digestive issue. Now, why that is because so much of your body's energy is required to digest appropriately. I mean, think about it. You're taking in a food substance that is not you, and your body has to break it down and make that food you. It has to break it down to small enough particles that it can utilize and get the nutrients out of them and make it so that your body doesn't recognize it as something foreign and invasive, but instead will recognize it as something that you need to incorporate into your body. So if you have impaired energy, you're going to have some impaired digestion, and as you start to eat these vegetables and fruits and health promoting foods, your many times digestion might be so stressed that even that healthy food takes a time to become accustomed to bringing this back into balance. So what can you do? Well, eat real food, and this is something I have to really push really hard with the many patients, because they come in and they get frustrated. They say, well, I don't understand. I can't eat this food. I got to get off this modified diet. I need to stop doing what I'm doing. And my question then becomes, well, what are you going to go back to? What you're going to go back to is food-like substances, things that aren't even real food, things that are junk, things that are toxic, things that cause cancer, things that cause diabetes, things that cause heart disease. You need to stay with eating real food. Now, Michael Pollan has a great list of food rules. He wrote a great book called In Defense of Food, and he has a little handbook called Food Rules. And if you go to this website here, www.leclinic.com/is-your-food-poisoning-you, that's a mouthful, huh? If you go to that link, I have a presentation where we talk about some of Michael Pollan's food rules. We also talk about the Go Smart method of eating, and you can download this by registering for our newsletter on our website at www.leclinic.com. But the fact of the matter boils down to this: you've got to eat real food. You have to, in order to have health, eat food that's going to provide you with the healthy nutrients that your body needs. But diet alone is not sufficient. Studies have been done. They've done the studies in adolescents and in children, trying to take these nutrient-deplete children, nutrient-deplete adolescents, and change their nutrient density of their body by diet alone, and it's not possible. So in some situations, you've got to fill in the potholes by using supplements, and you've got to use high-quality supplements. And then in addition to that, you've got to be willing to make some healthy food changes. I'll guarantee you this: if you're not willing to eat real food, you're never going to get better. And I can be so matter of fact because it's just really one of those matter-of-fact situations. If you want to be healthy, you've got to change what you put in your mouth and what's on the end of your fork. And if you're not willing to do that, literally, you're not going to progress. You're not going to improve. You're not going to see the changes in health that you want to see. Now, insufficient enzymes can be another problem that you might be feeling worse as you start to increase and improve your healthy diet. And you need stomach acid and pancreatic enzymes and liver enzymes and gallbladder enzymes to have healthy digestion. And in really stressed people, additional digestive support may be required. I see children that are so stressed their digestion does not work properly. I see teenagers that are so stressed their digestion does not work properly. And when digestion doesn't work properly and you're so stressed, you've got to manage all of these things at one time to make the changes. Okay? The more you do to promote health, the more that you do to increase your health, the better you're going to be. And that's what's so important to understand, that you make sure that you have a balance of nutrients and you de-stress and you detoxify your body. What can you do? Chew your food. Chew your food 25 to 30 times to break down the food mechanically and have more of an enzyme effect. Lightly steam or stir fry your vegetables in some coconut oil or olive oil. Juice your fruits and vegetables with a juicer to help make digestion easier. Take a betaine hydrochloride challenge with Metagest. Do you need additional stomach acid? Use the Metagest challenge that we give to our patients with a handout to identify whether or not you need additional stomach acid. Take digestive enzymes and gallbladder support formulas with your meals. You might need to aid and assist your digestion more than you are right now. And then look at this nutrient priority. When you start to enhance and improve your diet and you start to improve your nutrient density, you're going to start eliminating toxins first. Okay, remember, toxin elimination, nutrient absorption, and then finally cellular repair. You detox more effectively when you're increasing your nutrient status. Now, the symptoms of toxicity are fatigue, sleep disturbances, intestinal distress, headaches, allergy symptoms, confusion, anxiety. This is all published in 1996 in the Journal of Clinical Chemistry. These are some of the same symptoms people have when they start to change their diet and they start to eat healthy. It's just a sign that your body's detoxifying. So what can you do? Make sure you get plenty of water each day, half your weight in ounces of water. Drink some organic green tea. Use a detox buffer supplement like Advoclear. Exercise and increase your sweat. Use far infrared sauna. Maintain a bowel elimination. You must have a bowel movement every single day. I have people come in. I say, do you have normal bowel movements every day? Oh, yeah. Then I have to say, well, how many bowel movements do you have a week? Oh, 3 or 4. That's toxic. That's cancer promoting. That's disease promoting. That's not healthy. And in order to be healthy, you've got to have a bowel movement every day and use mag citrate to bowel tolerance to maintain that bowel elimination. So I hope the presentation was helpful, but really all this boils down to you. What choice are you going to make? You're going to have to weigh out the benefits, okay, of having a diet that is going to lead to disease and pathology and hormonal imbalances and all these things that you're trying to avoid, or the benefits of incorporating a healthy diet, even though you might go through some growing pains, but sticking with these dietary changes to have long-lasting health. And obviously, I'm in your corner. I'm rooting for you. I want you to make the right choice. And I know that the right choice is changing your diet, de-stressing, detoxing, and nourishing your body. I hope this is helpful. Please leave any questions or comments you might have below this post and share this with your friends and family. I know you can do it. Small changes add up. Don't get frustrated. Don't throw in the towel. Don't think because you can't make these changes all at one time, all overnight, that it's not worth it. Every step you make towards a health path is going to get you one step closer to your goal. Hang in there. You can do it. I hope this is beneficial. I'm Dr. Charles Sefcik with the Life Enhancement Clinic.